One does not need to be the size of a dragon to have the soul of a dragon. Robin Hobb, whoever that is. You can be a big dragon in your mind. You can be the biggest dragon in the universe. You can have a dragon heart. Which leads us into Dragon Saddle Melee, which is exactly what you expect Joust would be with dragons. I don't know if they're on dragons. They look like giant chickens in Joust, but anyways. Yeah, so it's an online Joust with dragons. Lots of dragons. And there's laser guns and synth music backgrounds with levels that look like Tron. So it's like Dragons meet Tron meets Joust, I guess. Super easy to pick it up and play. You flap your dragon's wings and you move and collect the blocks for weapons. And yeah, there's lightning or handguns. It seems like a fun party game. Some people, I was checking back and they said this was super fun. I didn't find it super fun, to be honest. At present, I feel like it's got a lot of potential, but if it's going to compete with Joust, which came out, what, 40 years or so ago, and a potential one day maybe a Joust 2, there's some work to be done here for sure. I feel like the game's very dull if you play it solo. It's just, maybe if the music was more upbeat. I don't remember the music really, to be honest. It feels like placeholder music. I felt if the music had like some interesting techno or something, that it would really add more life to this game. Because the handgun itself, like even if you get the handgun, it's so slow, and I feel like it's non-responsive, and there's some input lag that seems to cause like a delay between when you press the button and when your handgun actually shoots. So it's like, I wouldn't say it's useless, but it makes it a lot harder to aim when you have a non-responsive weapon. I didn't see this lightning weapon or other stuff, so I'm just going by the one weapon I was able to use. Yeah, it's just not powerful enough. Like, it's easier just to swoop down, bop off the top of the dragon's heads, and then bop other dragons' heads than to like aim a pistol that's like, it feels like it's from 5 centuries ago, because it's so unusable. So apparently this game works in waves, and there's different modes, and you don't have a choice in the matter. I couldn't see a way of changing it. So the different modes, it'd be better if you could choose them individually, like, okay, I want to defeat this many enemies, and that's the match. You know, don't have like 5 different waves. It makes it more interesting, but I think it'd be better if the matches were shorter, more intense, rather than it feels like a casual Joust game, instead of like where Joust you could float along and you get stuck with your momentum and then you try and turn back, but then you get speared by the other Jouster. I think that would make things more interesting if there was a bit more, you know, unwieldy physics, something going on. I don't think I really had that from my experiences. And yeah, so like one mode would be defeating number of enemies. There's another mode where you close portals, and then there's another mode where you avoid the walls, which come out like electric beams. And then there's I think the last mode that I remember at least is to capture the plateau. So you just land, and I assume you gain points capturing it. I didn't really experience that. So I feel like because they didn't split it up, it's sort of like, okay, now you do this, now you do that, and it's like, it's not as interesting as if you had one goal rather than multi-goals and cycling through them. The AI is pretty terrible too, and enemies have this tendency to fly upwards and upwards. I don't know, maybe it's like an Icarus towards the sun story here, but yeah, or they fly in loops, so like, it's like, oh, okay. There's only one map, which is really surprising, because I swear I checked, and this game's not even in early access, so I don't understand how this game is finished when there's only one map to play on. Like, even the Smash guys wouldn't just choose Final Destination all the time. Like, I know that they would get tired of one map in Smash Brothers if that was the only map, right? So I think that's like a huge mistake to just have one map, 5 modes, like, instead of splitting it all up and make it more customizable. I don't know, maybe I'm asking for too much, but I feel like it's mostly forgettable as a solo experience. Apparently, as I said, people have had fun as a multiplayer experience. I'm not so sure. I don't get the impression that this would be that much more interesting in multiplayer. It just, what leads to my next point is like it lacks intensity right now. Like for a party game, it needs to be intense and like, you know, a little bit loose, a little bit wild, like a party. And yeah, I feel like if they had a classic Joust mode instead of all these other like things, and just tried to focus on like what made Joust effective as a game, this would make the game more fun. Just having a separate mode like that, because like I can see that chaos of basic Joust being more exciting than what is here right now, unfortunately. But with that said, at $5.69, it's not the worst way to spend your money, but it feels like a $2 game right now as the current content and what's there. Just it's a shame because like I don't think it's in early access. I don't know if it's finished, but it doesn't feel finished. It feels like it's a potential demo or you know, work in progress, I guess. And like there's a lot of potential there, but it's not there yet. So anyways, don't be a drag, be a fire breathing dragon. Keep on gaming. Bye.